This evening, the time has come. The Exxon contract is now public. Granny thwarts 3 would-be robbers. Residents of South Rheinfeldt complain of flooding. In the region, in St. Lucia, Prime Minister Alan Chastanet discusses how the nation's airport tax will be used. And internationally, South Korea has built a human-controlled robotic suit.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Rheinfeldt Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel. Join us. The government of Guyana has finally released the ExxonMobil contract to the public. Here's Wendell Jeffrey with more on the matter.
George, today, as promised, the Granger administration released the much controversial and anticipated contractual agreement between Guyana and the oil explorers doing business in Guyana's waters. The prospectors named in the contract are Esso, or Exxon, CNOOC Nexen Petroleum, and Hess, hereinafter called the contractor. Channel 2 Headline News took a preliminary look at the contract, and there were many things that stood out to us. We noted that under Article 33 of the contract, a signature bonus was mentioned for the sum of $18 million. The contract says that the payments are to be made within a period of 15 business days after the contract was effected. The contract was signed on June 27th, just about 1 year after the coalition government came into office. The contract specified that the money will be paid to a bank account within the Bank of Guyana and which is owed by the government. It also specified that the contractor shall verify the initial bank account and any other bank accounts that the minister agrees to put the monies into. The contract also stipulates that within 60 days prior to the beginning of each year, the contractor and the minister shall provide a yearly plan for the utilization of qualified Guyanese, and a half-yearly report must be submitted outlining the achievements in utilizing the Guyanese. The contract is for an initial period of 4 years, but it can be renewed twice for consecutive periods of up to 3 years each, for the total of 10 years. However, according to the contract, in the event of any non-associated gas discovery, meaning natural gas, the minister shall grant the contractor's request for the maximum 10-year petroleum production license renewal. The contract also states that the minister shall not refuse to grant renewal of a petroleum production license without first providing the contractor notice stating the grounds of the intended refusal. This means, George, that while the initial contract is for 4 years with the possibility of 2 3-year extensions, if natural gas is found, those 10 years are immediately superseded by the clause that allows for an additional and immediate 10 years license. George, it looks like Guyana is in this for the long haul, and we are now bound by a contract. For Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. The CEO of the National Communications Network, or NCN, Lennox Cornett, has resigned just over 1 year after his controversial appointment. According to sources, his contract was to expire in April of 2018, but it was not expected to be renewed. Leadership of the state-owned news entity will be handed over to an interim management group made up of board subcommittees. It is said that he was aware of the board's unanimous displeasure with his performance, as it did not result in improved programming and conditions of service for workers. At the time of his appointment in April 2016, the then board of directors had been divided over the decision. This is due to an incident involving Cornett while he served as the public relations officer for GTNT. His last working day will be January 12th, after which he will proceed on 2 months accrued leave from January 15th. 3 would-be robbers met their match early this morning. Esther Sobers tells us that a grandmother in Sophia is the hero of this story.
A family in Sophia were the intended victims of a home invasion committed by 3 young men. The foiled robbery occurred in the early hours of Thursday morning. The 3 men had entered the home and held an unnamed family at knife point. Reports indicate that the grandmother of the home wrestled with one of the thieves, enabling the rest of the family to subdue, restrain, and interrogate him. However, the elderly woman was cut on her right hand during the struggle. A video of the capture has since gone viral on Facebook. One of the victims could be heard in the background relating how they were armed and threatened to kill her as they forced her door open.
Rolex. No, Rolex and no them too. You know me.
So you're planning for coming here for me
Oh,
mother
no,
all the time?
you're lying.
So you're planning for coming here for me mother all the time?
No.
When you're planning
Listen
for
to
me
me.
then?
Listen to me.
Yeah, we listening. When you plan for coming here?
No, we plan for coming here. We pass here and
You pass it? You pass it?
You plan the same mother. Don't be vexing over when I put my on you know.
watch. Listen to me. We pass it and then when I say watch it, and I say no.
You can say like you come in more than one time bad.
So who send me mother get money? Who send me mother get money?
Daniel, me know like
So everything is Daniel. Daniel plan everything. You plan nothing.
Me know like you watching it, so.
So you let's pass through the street here every day, every night.
No.
So how can you pass through here tonight?
The police fling just now.
The police fling you.
No.
Come here.
Watch your hand coming out. When you coming for kill my mother, just so you telling she you come for bed? If you only joke, she and kill she now. And she
The captured bandit identified himself as Ronaldo Paris. He gave his accomplices names as Daniel and Sion. Sources say that Paris is part of a gang of youths who moved around the general area looking for opportunities to attack persons or break into their homes. The bandit is currently being held at Turkine Police Station while the police are currently searching for the remaining 2. Reporting for Channel 2 Headline News, I'm Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. For decades, a balata tree has stood at the intersection of Camp and Princess Street. This tree stood quietly as the city of Georgetown grew around it, but last evening the tree's life was cut short. According to residents, a vagrant who was most likely cooking near the base of the tree accidentally set fire to it. Last night's heavy winds and rain did nothing to help the partially burned tree to stand upright. This woman is not surprised that the tree fell. According to her, neighbors have complained about it for years.
Keep sending in reports. Even the lady that lives across it, one time it was into her property, and she keeps saying she going in to make a report and nothing is done.
While no one was harmed, the downed tree caused extensive damage to government property. The tree damaged a nearby GPL transformer and a GWI meter, but the damage goes beyond just the government property. And this is not just any old tree. This tree is one of the last balata trees in the city.
I remember about 5 or 6 years ago when the city engineer then was Mr. Allen. We had spoken to him about it. He said it was the only rubber tree, or balata tree they call it, in the country, and they weren't going to cut it.
Balata trees, or bulletwood trees, are protected by Guyana's conservation laws, making it illegal to cut one down unless it has already died or with special permission from the Guyana Forestry Commission. During colonial times, the British heavily harvested the tree for its durable wood and latex sap. Prior to the creation of synthetic rubber, the sap of the balata tree was used to make rubber objects. Official estimates state that during the country's 125-year history of balata production, some 900,000 to 4.8 million trees were killed. Don't go away, we have more news for you after the break. Stay with us.
Shop at John Lewis Styles in December and you could win one RCA tablet every day. Yes, every day. And that's not all. 4 persons will win $1 million to spend in the store. Just imagine, $1 million in clothing, shoes, and accessories. Enter to win with every $5,000 you spend. So shop now to win 1 tablet every day and $1 million to spend in the store. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Season's greetings from Kisul's Furniture Store.
It's that time of year when you break out all the cool and fancy stuff to decorate your home. National Hardware Supercenter and Water Street locations got the ideal furniture collection for the dining and living rooms. Choose from these quality sofa sets and recliners to add that perfect holiday setting. Our stylish dining sets will add a unique touch of class to your decor. The quality and designs are unmatched. We add that extra feeling of Christmas with this choice of furniture in the mega holiday deals happening now at your Do It Best store's National Hardware.
For the best Creole food in town, come to Ridley's Restaurant. Taste our hot meals, fresh bread, and sweet pastries. Our spacious dining hall is free for all occasions. For reservations and more, call 226-2518 or 225-7245. We're open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Wrigley's Restaurant, located at 38 Robb Street, Laceytown, between King and Wellington Streets. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Ridley's Restaurant. Tasty and healthy eating.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Welcome back. Residents of South Rheinveld asked the government to come up with permanent solutions to their drainage problems. Here's more. For years, the residents of Georgetown have complained of flooding. The reasons for this are many, but it is commonly understood that litter, silt buildup, and ill-maintained drainage infrastructure is to blame. So in 2015, the coalition government began working with the mayor and city council to bring some relief to the residents of Georgetown. For the most part, their efforts were successful. Many neighborhoods that would flood after a hint of rain are now adequately drained. But such is not the case for North and South Rheinveld Festival City and other surrounding neighborhoods. As previously reported, many residents of these communities feel left behind in the progress. Heavy rains over the past several days have caused many residents to express their displeasure regarding this seemingly perpetual situation. Like this resident, despite his hard work, his yard is still prone to flooding.
I deal with that. This is my mistress, so sometimes, you know, cause you want to go right now, because you can't go carry water right to the entrance, right to flood.
For years, he has observed the inconvenience the flooding has caused the neighborhood. As such, he gave some suggestions as to how the government could address the situation.
For the time I would glad if the government could do something so that the drainage could be dig more and the road could be, you know, built a little wide, because it's a problem for a lot of people, especially them little children, so, you know, it's a lot of problems for them, you know. Yeah, but they trying, you know. We trying by the grace of God. Somehow we got to reach out. To get your needs, you got to reach out, you know.
He is not alone. Despite not wanting to be on camera, many residents of South complained of a lack of attention given to the drainage canals. Some blame squatters for this. Over the past 2 decades, persons have illegally built their homes on government reserves along major trenches, blocking machinery from cleaning the drains, while other residents point to their neighbors as the cause for the flooding. Many of the primary drains that line the neighborhoods are ill-maintained, leading to blockages, meaning that even if 9 out of 10 residents on a given street maintain their drains, the street can still flood because of one errant homeowner. Therefore, we at Channel 2 Headline News encourage residents of South Georgetown to be a good neighbor and to maintain your drains. Sky Cow is now ground beef after being slapped with several felony charges. Esther Sobers has more.
Christmas weekend proved fatal for the pedestrian Vincent Scipio, who was killed by a speeding minibus driver on Sunday night. Yesterday, the Route 32 minibus driver, who struck down Scipio and fled from the scene of the accident, was caught. Today, he faced the courts. 20-year-old Damian Walcott, also known as Kaiko from Tushan New Scheme East Bank Essequibo, appeared before Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan, where he was charged with causing the death of 38-year-old Vincent Scipio of Peters Hall by driving minibus BLL 340 in a manner dangerous to the public. Walcott was charged with a total of 5 charges, 4 of which he pleaded guilty and was fined by Magistrate Dylon Bess. The other is for causing death by dangerous driving, which he was placed on $500,000 bail by the Chief Magistrate. Walcott is expected to face the magistrate again on January 11, 2018. Reporting for Channel 2 Headline News, I'm Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Today, Mark Anthony, a handyman by trade, made his appearance before the Chief Magistrate and admitted to the offense of simple larceny. It was alleged that on the 26th of December at 4th Street La Penitence, he stole a van belonging to his boss, Rajid Singh. Anthony, popularly known as Unruly Boss, admitted that he took the vehicle without any permission to visit some of his relatives. The vehicle was later found abandoned and bore several damages. Anthony told the court that he did not regret taking the car for a joyride and abandoning it with an empty tank of gas, since Singh allegedly owed him money. The magistrate subsequently offered the man a fine of $30,000 or an alternative of 2 months in jail. Don't go away. Still ahead, we have our regional news, our international news, and your 7-day weather forecast. Stay with us.
Season's greetings from Kisulu's Furniture Store.
For the best Creole food in town, come to Ridley's Restaurant. Taste our hot meals, fresh bread, and sweet pastries. Our spacious dining hall is free for all occasions. For reservations and more, call 226-2518 or 225-7245. We're open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Wrigley's Restaurant, located at 38 Robb Street, Laceytown, between King and Wellington Streets. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Wrigley's Restaurant. Tasty and healthy eating.
Shop at John Lewis Styles in December and you could win one RCA tablet every day. Yes, every day. And that's not all. 4 persons will win $1 million to spend in the store. Just imagine, $1 million in clothing, shoes, and accessories. Enter to win with every $5,000 you spend. So shop now to win 1 tablet every day and $1 million to spend in the store. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
That time of year when you break out all the cool and fancy stuff to decorate your home. National Hardware Supercenter and Water Street locations got the ideal furniture collection for the dining and living rooms. Choose from these quality sofa sets and recliners to add that perfect holiday setting. Our stylish dining sets will add a unique touch of class to your decor. The quality and designs are unmatched. We add that extra feeling of Christmas with this choice of furniture in the mega holiday deals happening now at your do-it-best stores, National Hardware.
Welcome back, and we now take a look at the region. In St. Lucia, Prime Minister Alan Chastanet claims that revenue from airport taxes will be used to construct a cruise terminal, as well as repair the Castries Vaux Fort Highway. Chastanet was responding to concerns about the impact of the taxes on the tourism industry. Here's HTS News Force.
Prime Minister Alan Chastanet revealed that revenue from the increase in airport taxes would be allocated for the construction of a cruise ship terminal. The UWP administration reinstated the airport development tax at a rate of $35 for air travelers outside CARICOM and the French Caribbean. Moreover, the government also raised the airport departure tax for foreign visitors from $25 to $63. Chastanet says the money collected from the tax will be used to repair a highway in the south.
$400 million in revenue, they were going to generate $800 million in revenue. Why would I give any third-party entity that kind of cash? So we're saying we've increased the tax to $98. They already existed.
Has it been put into effect as yet?
Yes. Okay. Starts January 1st. 65 is already started. So we went from $25, then you add the $35, which is going to go into the airport fee. That makes it $60. And then there's $38 left on the tax. Right? We're intentioning now is to allocate that $38 towards the construction of the cruise ship terminal, as well as the highway between Vieux Fort and Castries.
Chastanet claims that this increase means that tourists will be paying more to stay on the island.
That is genuinely foregone revenue. Means everybody else is charging the tax. You're not, but you're not seeing any major benefits. Okay? We've increased the tax. there was this outcry that it was going to cause a reduction in tourism arrivals. I said, it's not going to cause a reduction in tourism arrivals. They said, yes, because you're increasing the tax by $75. A tourist spends, on average in St. Lucia, 10 nights. So the increase in $75 is $7.50 per night extra as costing him to be in St. Lucia. Is that going to make a difference?
The airport development tax was suspended by the Dr. Kenny Anthony administration in 2012. The Prime Minister argues that this move was a mistake.
If in fact we had left that tax in from the time that we had left office until now, we would have approximately $300 million of monies in the coffers. So it means almost 3/4 or more of the money to pay for the airport would have already been collected. It's important to know that because not only are you saving because the monies predominantly were generated off taxes from the tourist, right? Because the vast number of people using the airports are tourists, not St. Lucians. That if you now can put $300 million of money into paying for an airport, it means you're only having to borrow $100 million. In fact, the $400 million would come down because you were going to spend a whole lot less money on paying for interest payments.
The UWP government claims that the increase in airport taxes is aimed at raising money to fund upgrades to the airport, develop tourism, and address the island's fiscal challenges. Chelsea Joseph, HTS News Force.
And internationally, a South Korean startup has unveiled a huge robot designed to make humans stronger and more mobile. The machine is the work of Rainbow Robotics, a spin-off from South Korea's Advanced Institute of Science and Technology's Robotics Lab. BBC News has that story.
This kind of robot can be used for carrying person from A point to B without his or her physical effort. That means it can help for the disabled person, and also this arm is very powerful, and this arm can be used for carrying heavier materials. We are thinking of these possible applications in the future. This kind of robot is not ready to be used in very practical purposes yet. Instead, it can be used for more entertaining purposes. It can be used for, say, some kind of amusement parks or events.
And now for your 7-day weather forecast. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Thursday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook and YouTube. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a broadcast, and Friday evening at 6 o'clock for a very special end-of-the-year edition of Channel 2 Headline News. But until then, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out, saying thank you for welcoming us into your homes, and do have a wonderful evening.